Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily Dvar. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Sunday, 5th day of February. Here we go. Today, the halacha about all you people who make a bracha, and you make a bracha and you snack on some food and you walk around. Well, it's complicated. Whenever you just make a bracha on a food in one place, and then you walk out the door and continue eating it somewhere else, you are stepping into a whole hazard of complications. In short, today's halacha is going to be try to eat your food, make your bracha in one place, and eat your food in one place, because otherwise it gets so complicated. But let's make it a drop easier for you. If you make the bracha in one corner of a room, and during the meal or the snack move over to another corner of the room, everyone's pretty much going to agree that you're fine. That's considered generally same location. The bracha that you made in the left corner of the room will help for the bracha for the food you're eating in the right corner of the room, and the after bracha can be said in either spot. That's going to be no problem. When you move to another location outside of the building, that's when it gets to be a real problem, and it gets you into real complications. Even if you say, no, I knew. I washed here, I made my hamotzi here, and I was planning to finish my eating over there. It's very questionable. If you ever want to do that kind of thing, please talk to a rabbi about the parameters. And the middle ground is when you make a bracha in one room and you move to another room under the same roof. There, it's a middle ground, and in some situations you could allow the bracha to cover for both areas, and in some situations you can't. It's also going to depend on whether it was bread that's beginning this whole meal, which basically needs you coming back to that same spot, usually for the benching, or whether it was just a snack on some item that didn't need a benching, like just bori priho eitz on an apple. So now, as I started, best thing always is to plan, think, make a bracha, and say, I'm eating right here. I'm going to sit here till I finish eating, and then I'm going to make a bracha afterwards. When you do that, you avoid all complications. When you start leaving the room, leaving the building, coming back, thinking about other places, it gets very complicated. There's an entire section in the Shulchan Aruch and the Code of Jewish Law on that, and you'd have to be an expert on it to know which bracha to repeat, which bracha to not repeat, etc., as your locations change. Because generally a bracha applies to an eating and an event, not to just make a shahakal at the beginning of the day and just eat all day. Each bracha applies to a specific, significant amount of eating, and then a bracha comes right afterwards in the same spot. That's the best way to do it. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.